What's going on, everybody? We just got back from a scout and a hunt on Saturday. We're getting ready for a hunt on Sunday. Tonight we're gonna fix up 3 quick and easy meals that you can do with any birds, ducks or geese that you shoot. So stay tuned, we're gonna show you how to do it. So while these two guys prep the other 2 meals, I'm gonna show you guys what I plan to do with this teal we shot earlier this morning. So I plucked this, gutted it regular. I crunched it down, broke the breastbone, scored the skin, salted it, and now I just plan on putting some olive oil in the cast iron, heating it up pretty hot. I'm gonna sear it, brown it pretty well, and then throw it right in the oven and just finish cooking to medium rare. All right, so I'm just gonna throw it in skin side down. And let it go here for a few minutes just to get a nice little sear on it, and then it's gonna go right in the oven after that. Probably gonna take about 2 to 3 minutes to get, maybe 3 to 4, and just to get a nice little sear on it. And then after that, I'm gonna throw it in the oven for probably a couple, maybe 2 or 3 minutes after that. I think oven's right around 375. So we're gonna let that go and get a nice little crust with a medium rare teal. It's gonna be pretty delicious. So.
All right, for recipe number 2, we're making Goose Helper with some of our ground goose. It's become kind of a staple around here over the last 2 weeks. We've got so much ground goose. Today we're going with the Philly cheesesteak recipe. And right now I'm just chopping up some onions and mushrooms to saute, to mix in with that to kind of doctor it up a little bit and make it good. So we'll chop these up, saute them first, and then we got the goose thawing in the microwave right now, and then we'll mix that all together, add these last. It's usually pretty good.
Alright guys, and for our 3rd recipe, what we're going to be doing is jalapeno poppers with teal breasts in them. It's kind of a staple. Everybody that's cooked duck has tried this before, but it's super easy, and don't fix what ain't broke, it's good. But so we'll just put them in the oven with the bacon, with cream cheese, the breast, and then wrap in bacon at about 350, and we'll cook them till the bacon has a nice crisp on it. And that's about it with these. They're pretty straightforward, but they're good.
All right, so we got a nice sear on it. I'm just gonna throw it in the oven here for a few minutes and just finish it.
Do it.
And we're good to go.
Alright, so you guys are probably wondering what we got a deer butt on the wall for. It's actually a bottle opener for our non-alcoholic glass bottle Coca-Colas. So if anybody's wondering, that's what that's for. So.
And Pepsi's.
And Pepsi's too.
Yeah.
Don't forget about them.
Pepsi's just soft.
I used to sit here for hours. I have fun hitting season.
We have plenty of cooks in the kitchen right now, that is for sure.
Yeah, so this is some of our ground goose. We ground for the first time the other week. We ground 59 pounds. We did like one part pork butt to 4 or 5 parts goose. Just did that in the grinder and did them in 1 pound packages here. Super easy to take out of the freezer for a quick and easy meal. Yeah, good way to process your goose.
Alright, so now we're adding the cream cheese on, and then next we'll put the breast and then wrap it all up in bacon.
So first step of doing this helper is sauteing the onions. You always want to start your onions first because they take a little bit longer than the mushrooms. So just some butter in a pan, flatten them out, let them sit for a while, let them brown. So after we thaw our meat a little bit, we usually slice it into just thin rounds like this so it goes a little faster once you put it in the pan. Just like any other burger, treat it the same. So I'm taking the onions off now once they get to about, I don't know, this brownness, kind of personal preference. So I do the onions and the mushrooms separate, and then I'll mix them back in together and saute them a little bit longer mixed up before I put them in the helper.
We are now on the chopping block. So the moment of truth has risen, if it is cooked or not. It's gonna be a little awkward if it's not. But I'm just gonna try to find the breastbone, and then it's just kind of like a peel back and cut. and it's looking pretty dang good if you ask me.
Mushrooms going in.
But yeah, I would say that looks pretty decent. And then kind of work the breast off, and then you can dice up those pieces, then somebody can work on the breast or the bones itself and just clean everything else up. So pretty easy and pretty delicious too, so definitely something you guys should try.
I've done this a time or two at work, so
We only have one slice of bacon
we'll
left.
practice.
We are a little short on bacon, but
More butter the better, and the mushrooms especially.
Whoa. Have you tried it?
we are 3 slices of bacon for it, and then
Yeah, you go.
I got it all kind of deboned to the best of my ability, which is not very good, but we're just gonna keep it simple. A little salt, a little pepper on it, and it's gonna be good to go for eating. Nice little appetizer. We got, obviously we got the goose hamburger helper with the goose, and then the poppers coming in next, so it's gonna be good.
There's no hammer counter yet. Not too bad.
Thanks, Dave.
You're right. That's pretty good. For Noel, that's really above the bar. He's done well tonight.
I set the bar
You've
for
outdone
everything around
yourself.
this joint,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
they're jealous.
Good flavor.
That is
Really tender,
tenderness is
perfectly
there. Let's see, bust into one of those thighs there.
The leg,
Yeah, bust into one.
most underrated part of the duck.
Kind of personal preference again. You can let them shrink or brown as much as you want, but this is good for us. So we'll mix in our onions again. Stir that up. Let it go a couple more minutes.
We ran out of bacon, so we're wrapping it in ham now, and we'll let you know how that tastes.
I'll trade you.
It's a college lifestyle.
2 boxes calls for 4.5 cups, but if you leave it a little less than that, then it kind of gets more like a gravy in there.
And you know what they say, if Ryan ain't happy, nobody's happy, so.
This kid knows how to cook.
He's very good at sauteing.
Cooks.
I run this place, so.
Yeah, he makes
So since we got to get the liquid to a nice simmer to get the noodles going and perfect, we like to leave the goose a little red yet, so it can finish cooking with the noodles. Otherwise, you'll get a little bit drier meat. It definitely stays nice and moist this way if you leave it a little undone, so it can finish off with the noodles. So that's just a little tip for the hamburger helper.
As we're cooking, I can give you guys a little tour of the apartment here. So, obviously the entryway, got a lot of shenanigans going on over here. Whiteboard, we got locked feeds, so keeping a tally of how many permissions we get throughout the year.
That's a
So
little competition.
a little competition too,
So far, I'm
just
in
because
last place.
nobody doesn't like to win. So, sorry. Now we moving on. Before I was interrupted, we got a couple mounts from last year. Yeah, both were last year. Ryan shot the blue, and Jack shot the spec. Nice TV. We got big old chest freezer for all the birds we shoot. We're pretty much filled to the brim right now, so another freezer purchase might be on its way here soon. Then we got the kitchen here, and then it goes back 4 rooms. We each got our own, which is pretty nice. That's mine. That's, you don't want to open that door. That's Jack's. That's Parker's, and then this is Ryan's. All which are extremely livable, besides the barn. And then bathroom, sinks, just typical stuff. So it's pretty nice. It definitely is a step up from dorms, which we had to kind of suffer through last year. But we're making it work, so no complaints.
All right, so we let it sit here until it raises to a simmer, and now we're gonna cover it to finish it off here. And it'll start to thicken up really nice when it's done, and you can just go off how done the noodles are too. So. I don't know what we want to do here.
All right, we got 2 new Polaroid pictures to add to our wall today. We kind of started this tradition this year. My sister actually ended up buying me a Polaroid camera like the day we were moving in, and kind of turned into a tradition to take a couple pictures each hunt. They're pretty cool. They look different than just your typical picture, and they kind of give it a vintage vibe. So we thought it's pretty cool to look back on, and gonna get them hung up.
The steak and chop. Dave, how was this one? Well, we left it at 10 on poppers. Good. Better than sure, yeah. Alright, last step of the poppers before we put them in the oven is we just like to hit them with some seasoning, any choice. Right now we're going with the steak and chop.
I got seasoned all here.
And the classic seasons all. So we'll do half and half. And we'll put those in at 375 for 15 minutes, and then we usually end them in the pan to sear the bacon.
A couple minutes.
Getting close, so we'll add our mushrooms and onions and leave it go just a couple more minutes. Take it off the heat. Come get your slop.
Don't get yourself.
I think Jack rivals.
I feel like I've consumed.
Well,
arguably.
Okay, well, leftovers.
All right, so hear me out. You guys cook it. You guys cook more, but I'd argue that I consume just as much.
That's still a little hot. We'll wait another minute here.
Woo! You know what Dave Portnoy says?
I'm about to burn my face off.
One bite.
But everybody knows rules. I'm gonna burn my face off.
From what I can taste, it's pretty good. Still a little hot.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the #1 on your list now, Philly cheesesteak?
I don't know if
I think
I
so.
don't know if it does it.
It does have a little zip.
It's not.
That's Jack's dad.
I thought he was talking about the.
How they look?
They look like they're cooking. Jack, hey, Mr. Miyagi of jalapeno poppers. Let's see what you got.
They're cooking.
All right.
Now, what do you want me to?
Get a light on.
Yeah, let's get some light on this. Let's get some light on the subject.
Put a light on this stuff, yeah.
Put a light on it, guys.
All right, that got a
Should
little
we
ways to go.
show them here?
Should have burned the lens off that thing if you get some camera down here.
Yeah, stick that in the oven. So right now the goose is cooking, or the duck is cooking, but it's still got a little ways to go. You don't want to do it too long in the oven. If you wait for the bacon to get crispy in the oven, you'll be here for a day. So that's kind of just what we do. We eyeball it, put it in a pan.
They'd be in the oven forever if we tried to get a crisp on the bacon in the oven, so we're going to finish them off by getting a crisp in the pan here. So we're going to load up the pan and get a nice crisp on this bacon and ham. I rub the sheet like.
I use that to cut the duck.
It's a big boy knife. All right, guys, we got the poppers done here. We got the bacon all crispy. Now we're gonna cut into one of these and see how they turned out. I'm saying that's pretty perfect right there.
Go on, hold it there.
So I would say that's a pretty perfect cook there, leaving it a little medium rare, and I'm gonna bite into this thing and destroy my palate. So cream cheese explosion, here we go. Mmm. Mm-hmm. Ooh.
That's the
Pro tip, let them cool off. Unique New York. Unique New York.
Like, comment, subscribe,
All right.
comment down
Time to go
below.
vertical.
All right, here we go. Yeah. All right.
There you go.
Ready?
Yep.
Good? All right, guys, thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your favorite recipe for duck and goose down below, and we'll see you on the next one.